The following is a special presentation of Payoff Pitch Baseball. Okay, so that was a little cheesy. But then again, sometimes you got to do strange things to make presentations a little better. How you guys doing tonight, everyone? This is Robert from RJL 518, and I welcome you once again to Metropolitan Stadium. Tonight, it is Game 2 of the 1969 runner-up series between the Atlanta Braves and the Minnesota Twins. If you watched last night, the Minnesota Twins, on some great pitching by Jim Perry, come away with a 3-0 shutout on the Braves. But here in Game 2, I'm expecting maybe something a little different, but we still got two very good pitchers on the mound, so anything can happen in a very important Game 2. If you want to watch how that 3-0 game occurred, you'll have to go to my channel and pop on it and take a good look at it. I think it was a lot of fun to play. A nice pitcher's duel between Jim Perry and Phil Niekro. And both pitchers won a complete game. So it was a lot of fun to definitely watch and play, absolutely. But tonight, it is Game 2 here at Metropolitan Stadium as the fans are still filing in here to this outside ballpark that Minnesota played in before they moved into the Metrodome. And so we're going to take a look at tonight's teams, and hopefully we're going to see another good ball game here. Very important game here. Very important game. Let's see, just to get this situated a little better here. Get that. It's a little better. There we go. I like that. That'll work. Okay. So, should be a very important game. Can the Braves win tonight and get back and go to Atlanta, Fulton County with a tie series, or will the Twins take a 2-0 lead into Georgia? So I'm having a funny feeling anything can happen tonight. So we're gonna see what happens, shall we? Let's get to take a look at the starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves. It will be Felix Millan batting first. Tony Gonzalez will bat second. Hank Aaron bats third. Rico Carty will bat fourth. Orlando Cepeda will bat fifth. Clete Boyer bats sixth. Bob Didier bats seventh. Gil Garrido bats eighth. And Ron Reid, the Atlanta pitcher, will bat ninth. Pretty much the same lineup from last night. For the Braves, defensively, for the 1969 Minnesota Twins, it is Reese at first base, Rod Carew at second, Harmon Killebrew at third base. The shortstop is Cardenas. In left field is Bobby Allison. Center field is Cesar Tovar. The right fielder is Tony Oliva. Behind the plate, once again, is George Mitterwall. And on the mound for the Minnesota Twins in this game will be Dave Boswell. Boswell, 20 wins, 12 losses, a 3.23 ERA. I call that a pretty good pitcher. If you get 20 wins, that's not bad. He had 190 strikeouts, so he definitely can get the ball out. He did allow 18 home runs. So, and I'll usually mark this. His wheelhouse is at number 2 in this. So anytime that happens, who knows what could happen from the Atlanta batters. So the national anthem has been finished. The fans have gotten their popcorn, their beer, their hot dogs, their peanuts, and they're ready to watch some playoff baseball here, the 1969 runner-up series between the Braves and the Twins. As we go to the top half of inning number 1, and leading off for the Atlanta Braves will be Felix Millan. Both starting pitchers are right-handers. Millan batted .276 against the right-handers, and he had 5 home runs. So Boswell goes ahead and gets the call, and here we go. Let's see what we got. It starts with a 5, and this is a patient. It's an 81, and this one's grounded right to shortstop. And it looks like Cardenas will glove it. He will throw to first and get the first out. So a quick out to the shortstop, and that will bring up Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez batted .303 against the right-handers, 9 home runs in 1969 for the Braves. Boswell sets up. Here comes the pitch. This is a 6. This is a patient. It's a 46, and Gonzalez rips a base hit right into right field. A nice play. It'll be Oliva tossing it back in, and Gonzalez has the first hit of the game for the Braves on a nice single. So he will hold on at first. His steal rating is a 3B. So he's got a good chance, but a 3 doesn't mean he's not much going to get the jump. So he is not going to run on this because the next batter is that guy. He batted 308 against the right-handers and had 30 dingers against them as well. So the hammer is at the plate. So I think if you're Tony Gonzalez, you let this man hit the ball. Boswell settles down. So runner on at first base. So we'll see what happens with the hammer. Here's the pitch to Hammer and Hank. This is an 11. This is in play. It's a 54, and that is going to be a fly ball to right field. Oliva's going to settle under it, and he's going to make the catch, and that is the second out, and Gonzalez has to hold. So 2 outs in the books, and here is Rico Carty batting .352 against the right-handers, and he had 10 home runs. So Boswell sets up. Gonzalez still at first. Here's the pitch. This is a 4. This is ballpark 31, and that is going to be an in-play result to Rico Carty. So here's the plate of Carty. This is a 32, and he's going to get himself a base hit. It's a sharp liner into center field. The runner on first advances 1 base, but Gonzalez, however, has a 7-run rating with 2 outs, and he's going to make it to third. And he will hold there. So Gonzalez goes to third base. He'll hold. Runners at first and third on a base hit by Carty. So runners at first and third. And the batter is Orlando Cepeda. The Braves got shut out last night, so they need to score. I know they want to score runs today, but Dave Boswell is going to try to keep them up. So here we go. Runners at first and third, 2 outs, so the infield's playing normal. And here's the pitch. And this is a 6. This is a patient. It's a 17, and Cepeda is going to draw a walk. So Boswell gives up a walk and loads the bases. And the batter will be Clete Boyer. Boyer batted .236 against the right-handers. He had 11 home runs in 1969. Out to talk to Boswell real quick is Mitterwald, just to get him in here. Bases loaded, nobody to put him. Boyer sets in. Here's the pitch from Boswell. This is a 4. This is ballpark. It's an 81. That's going to be in play. So Boyer's going to get another roll. Here's the play of Boyer. It is a 56, and that is going to be a fly ball deep to right field. And it is going to be caught by Oliva, and the Twins are going to get out of the jam. Side retired. No runs, 3 hits, no errors. And nobody comes in to score, as the Twins get out of the jam on that one. And the fans here at Metropolitan Stadium are definitely enjoying that one as they get away from it. Boswell gets out of it, and I didn't think it was going to happen, but he did. So we go to the bottom half of inning number 1. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the 1969 Minnesota Twins. Cesar Tovar will bat first. Rod Carew will bat second. Harmon Killebrew bats third. Oliva will bat fourth. Bobby Allison bats fifth. Rich Reese will bat sixth. George Mitterwald will bat seventh this time, as Leo Cardenas will bat eighth. And Dave Boswell, the pitcher, will bat ninth. Defensively, for the Atlanta Braves, it will be Cepeda at first base, Mian at second. The shortstop is Garrido. Boyer is at third. In left field is Carty. In center field is Gonzalez. In right field is the Hammer. The catcher is Clint Didier behind the plate. And on the mound for the Atlanta Braves in this game will be Ron Reid. 18 wins, 10 losses, a 3.47 ERA, gave up 24 home runs, had 160 strikeouts in 1969. Perhaps not as good as, definitely not as good as Phil Niekro, but very, very capable. His wheelhouse is 12. So we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Leading off for the Twins will be Cesar Tovar. Here's the pitch from Reid. This is a 9. This is a tough out. That's a 36, and that is going to be a strikeout. And he is lucky on that one because actually that would have been a base hit at 36, but it's a tough out on Ron Reid, and he's out of there. So that strikeout, that's actually a pop fly ball to short. And the catch is going to be made by Garrido for the first out. And the batter will be Rod Carew, Hall of Famer. Batted .351 against the right-handers, 5 home runs. Carew did not hit many homers in his career, but he's in there because of his contact. He was one heck of a player. Didn't see much of him when I was growing up, but what I did see when I was growing up, he was one of the top players for the Twins, and of course the Angels. Carew at the bat. Here's a pitch from Reid. This is a 9. This is another tough out. That's going to be a grounder to shortstop, and Garrido's going to make the play. Throws to first for the second out. So Carew goes down, and that will bring up another Hall of Famer, Harmon Killebrew, batted .300 against the right-handers, 32 home runs in 69. Killebrew had a home run his first time up last night. So let's see what Killebrew does tonight in this game. Here's the pitch from Reid. That's a 7. That is in play. It's an 89, and that's going to be another ground ball to Garrido. He gloves it, throws it to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Braves. So nothing across. At the end of 1, we got no score. We go to the top of the second inning. And leading off for the Braves will be Bob Didier. He batted .255 against the right-handers. No home runs. Dave Boswell got out of the inning in the first one. So let's see how he does here in this one. Here's the pitch to Didier. That's a 10. That's going to be tough. That's an 87. That's a ground ball to short. And it looks like it's definitely going to be Cardenas will glove it. He will throw to first. 1 out. And now we will see Gil Garrido. Batted .211 in 1969. No home runs against the right-handers. Boswell sets and deals. That's a 5. That's a patient. That's a 29. And Garrido fights this one off. It's actually a good hit. That's going to be a base hit for Garrido. It's definitely a single. Garrido holds it first on a base hit. Runner on first, and now we'll see the pitcher, Ron Reid. He uses hitting card number 5. So he can hit a little bit. The sacrifice bunt rating is 4-12. And Garrido, his run rating is a 7. So Ron Reid's going to go ahead. He's going to do a sacrifice here. So the bunt rating, his bunt rating is a B. So we will call sacrifice. Here's the pitch. Here's the sacrifice attempt, and that is an SH, which means that is a sacrifice hit. So there will be 2 outs, but Garrido does make it to second. So the sacrifice by Reid works. Top of the batting order now for Felix Mian. Garrido on at second. Dave Boswell gets the sign in from Mitterwald. There are fans actually still filing in at Metropolitan Stadium. Here's the pitch. This is a 6 off of Boswell. This is a patient. It's a 96, and that's a fly ball to left. And that will be caught by Allison, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, no errors. Nothing for the Braves. They can't seem to get anything going, and it's not like they haven't had their chances. But so far, Twins are keeping them honest. Bottom half of inning number 2. Leading off from Minnesota will be Tony Oliva. batted .335 against the right-handers. He's got 18 home runs in 1969. So Ron Reid will set up, and we'll see what we got. The pitch from Reid, this is an 11. This is tough. That's a 37, and that is going to be a base hit by Tony Oliva. He fights it off. A very good curveball by Reid, but Oliva goes ahead and smacks it into center field. That's a base hit. First hit of the game for the Twins, as he will hold at first, and the batter will be Bob Allison. Oliva, steal rating 4D. No, he'll stay at first base and let Allison hit. Batted .152, no home runs against the right-handers in 69. The pitch from Reid, and this is a 6. This is a tough. It's a 55, and Allison goes down on strikes. And that is 1 out as he gets the K. And that is the first strikeout by Reid, and that will bring up Rich Reese. He batted .322 against right-handers with 10 home runs. It's not like this Minnesota Twins team didn't have any power. This was a good ball club. They just got swept by the Orioles, who pretty much were the best team in 69, even though they didn't beat the Mets. But they were the best team, was the Orioles. But this Twins team actually kept it close the first 2 games. Pretty much extra inning affairs. Here's the pitch to Reese. This is a 6 on Reid. This is a tough. It's an 88, and that's going to be a ground ball to second base. Do they get the double play? Reid's a 6. Reese is a 6 double play. Reid is a 6 as well. It is a 6. He tosses it to shortstop. Back to first for 2. That's a double play, and the inning is over, as the 6 equals both of them. And that retires the side. So a runner left stranded. And nothing there but a hit is what they get. At the end of 2, there is still no score, as we go to the top of inning 3 in this very pivotal game 2 of the 1969 runner-up series. Top of the 3rd. And here is Tony Gonzalez. He will lead off. He singled his last time up, but got stranded at 3rd. Here's the pitch from Boswell. That's an 8. That's a tough. It's an 85, and that's a ground ball to second base. Carew will corral it. Routine play to first. 1 down. And the batter will be the Hammer. But Hank Aaron so far having a pretty, let's see, Hammer yesterday. Aaron actually he was 0 for 4 yesterday, really. He was 0 for 4, grounded out twice, flew out, and got on base via an error. So he was actually 0 for 4 or 0 for 3, and he grounded, and he's already flown out today. So Hank Aaron has been quiet. He hasn't woken up yet, but we know he can. Here's the pitch from Boswell. That's a 5. That's going to be a patient, and Aaron is going to draw a base on balls. Aaron stays good with it, and he gets a 1-out walk. Aaron, a 4D steal rating. He's not going anywhere, and they'll let Carty bat. Carty got a base hit his last time up. Here's the pitch from Boswell. It's a 5. This is a patient. It's a 20. It's a 23, and Carty draws a walk, and now we got runners at first and second with 1 out. Aaron will go to second on another walk issued by Boswell. And now the batter is Orlando Cepeda. So once again, the Braves are in business again to try to get some runs. They've been unable to do so. But runners at first and second, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Boswell throws it to the plate. It's a 7. This is a tough. It's a 17. And that is a strikeout. And a big K. A big K by Boswell. 2 outs to get Cepeda as well. And now it'll be up to Clete Boyer. And Boyer flew out his last time up with runners on base. So now, this time, can Boyer redeem himself a little bit here against Boswell in the third? Fans here in Minnesota, a little bit on their seats. But here's the pitch from Boswell. That's a 6. It's going to be a patient. It's a 16, and Boyer draws a walk. So the bases are loaded as Aaron will go to second. I'm sorry, Aaron goes to third, Carty to second, and Boyer now at first. Another walk issued by Boswell. He's walked, the bases loaded. So far, the Braves have runners at bases loaded and not a single hit in this inning. And the batter is Bob Didier with 2 outs. Bases loaded for the Braves. Dave Boswell gets the sign from Mitterwald. Big pitch coming up. Here's the play. That is a 10-32, not a wild pitch. His wild pitch is a 30. That's a 10. That is a tough. It's a 32. And that is going to be a base hit by Bob Didier. He fights it off, and he's going to get himself a single. It's a long single into the gap to center field. Runner on second scores. Runner on first advances 1 base plus. So that means Aaron comes in to score. Carty will score from second. So he comes in. Runner on first advances 1 base plus. His run rating is a 6. He'll hold. He'll hold at second base, not take a chance. And for the first time in this series, the Braves score a couple of runs. As Didier comes in through with a big base hit. Boyer holds at second. And the Braves are up 2-0. What a big play by Bob Didier. That was off a tough, but he fought that off. And still 2 outs here with runners at first and second. And the batter is Gil Garrido. So already we have a different game here between the Braves and the Twins. Garrido at the plate. Here's the pitch from Boswell. That is a 6. That's a patient. That's an 86, and that's a ground ball to shortstop. That'll be corralled by Cardenas, who will throw to first to get out of the inning, and that retires the side. But the damage is in on 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors. Bottom of the third, Braves 2, Twins nothing. And we have a timeout. Go ahead and get everything reset. First run scored by Atlanta in the series. Go to the bottom half of inning number 3. Ron Reid now has a 2-run lead to work with. And leading off for the Twins will be George Mitterwald, batted .237 with 1 home run against the righties. Here's the pitch from Ron Reid. It's a 9. This is a tough out, 91, and that is a grounder right to short. The play will be made by Garrido. He throws to first, and we got 1 out. So 1 down, and that will bring up Leo Cardenas. Batted .288 against the right-handers, 10 home runs, so he's got power. Here's the pitch. That is an 11. That's a tough. That's a 9. That's a tough. That's a 90, and that's another ground ball to shortstop. Garrido's got it. Throws to first again, gets another chance, makes the play, and there are 2 outs. And that will bring up Dave Boswell. He uses hitting card number 6. So he's capable of hitting. So he'll take a crack at it. Pitch from Reid. That is a 7. That is in play. 67. And that's a weak ground ball to second. Millon's got it. Throws to first. And a 1-2-3 inning for Ron Reid. And the Twins do not get any runs back in that same inning. So nothing across. At the end of 3, it's still Braves 2, Twins 0. We go to the top of inning 4. Dave Boswell comes back out again. And here comes Ron Reid to lead it off for the Braves. Oh, before we roll, let's do a quick shuffle. Although we really don't need to. I'm almost thinking that, as far as I'm concerned, if you're using dice and the fact deck, I really don't think you need to shuffle the fact deck if you're using dice, because you're only pulling a fact deck to get certain results off the charts. I don't think the fact deck is necessary to be shuffled. If you're using it full time, then yes. But if you're using it just to get chart results like single, double, defense, sack bunt, stealing, I don't think you really need to shuffle the fact deck. But because those are just chart lookups, really. Anytime a dice roll is needed, I will roll the dice. I will not use the dice numbers. I'm just thinking about it. We'll see. Let's go to the top of the 4th inning. And here is Ron Reid to bat against Boswell. This is a 9. This is in play. It's a 38, and that's going to be a ground ball to first. The play is made by Reese. 1 out. I love this game system. Can't wait to get the rest of the seasons he's got. Here's Felix Mian. He grounded out and flew out. Dave Boswell trying to keep things close. Already down 2-0 are the Twins. Here's the pitch. It's an 8. This is it's a 31. And Felix Mian gets a hold of it, and that one is going to be a base hit into left field. Mian's got it. It's a 31, and that's a single. So Mian gets a base hit. He will go to first, and we'll bring up Tony Gonzalez. Mian's steal rating is a 4, and he's a beast, so he definitely can run. Steal rating is a 4, though. Here's where I'm thinking about it. So when I think about it, here's where I go ahead and take a look at the optional get a jump chart that he uses. So his jump rating is a 4, and the hold rating for Boswell is a 7. So a 0 to 56 he attempts, and a 57 to 99 he holds. So let's roll 57 to 99. Let's see what we get. And that is a 79 he will hold. So Mian holds at first base. If you're not sure, roll. So Mian is at first base. There is 1 out, and the batter is Gonzalez. Here's the pitch. That's a 4. That's ballpark. That's a 64. That's going to be in play. Re-roll on Gonzalez's in play. Let's see what he comes up with. And that is a 21, and that's going to be a single for Gonzalez. That's a base hit. That's a soft blooper into short left field. The runner on first advances 2 bases, so Mian goes to third easily, and Gonzalez holds it first with a single. So runners at first and third, and still 1 out. And that brings up that guy. And the only reason why I like calling him that guy, because we all know Hank Aaron, one of the GOATs in baseball history. You have your Hall of the Very Good, which are people that could be in the Hall of Fame, borderline, could be in there. And if they are in the Hall of Fame, you won't have an issue with it. You have the ones that are in the Hall of Fame. And then you got the Hall of Famers of the Hall of Famers. And Hank Aaron's one of them. Babe Ruth is one of them. Willie Mays is one of them. Sandy Koufax is one of them. Randy Johnson's one of them. Nolan Ryan's one of them. You know what I'm talking about. Tom Seaver's one of them. That's what I mean. The Hall of Fame of the Hall of Famers. That guy is one of them. Hank Aaron. No doubt. Period. Best Brave in the history of the franchise. But runners at first and third, though, he's got a real good chance. First and third, 1 out. Dave Boswell settles in. The infield is going to play back. They'll concede the run in case of anything. So here's the pitch to Aaron. That is a 5. That is a patient. That's an 18. And Aaron draws a base on balls. So he walks him. So Aaron will go to first. Gonzalez goes to second. And now the bases are loaded on a walk. And that will bring up Carty. So now there's no place to put him. So Boswell having a much different night than Jim Perry did last night for the Twins. Bases loaded, 1 out. I think now if you're Minnesota, do you play the infield in here? You're down 2-0. It's only fourth inning. No, you got to try to get the play. So Rico Carty is up. Carty batted, however, .352 against right-handers. So he's definitely capable of getting in some runs. Carty at the plate. Bases loaded. Mian, third. Gonzalez, second. Aaron, first. Boswell, pitch. That is a 5. That is a patient. It's a 27, and he's going to walk in a run. He walks Carty. That will bring Mian over from third. The runners move up, and it is now 3-0 Braves, as Boswell somehow has now forgotten where to put the ball. And that is a score. So Aaron goes to second. Carty on at first. Boswell had 99 walks in 1969. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far in this game. And we're only in the 4th inning. Pitching coach is going to go talk to Boswell for a minute. Still 1 out. The batter is Cepeda with bases still loaded. So it looks like Atlanta could be due for that big inning. They'll talk to Boswell. Fans here at Metro Stadium still getting a little anxious here, but the Braves are now up 3-0. And there's still 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Now the pitching coach tells Boswell to settle down a little bit. His fatigue rating is an 8, but he's already given up 3 runs. But 6 runs is what you have to give up in order to get fatigued before his fatigue rating settles in. So he would be fatigued if he reaches the 8th, if he doesn't give up any more than 6 runs. But Cepeda at bat. Here's the pitch from Boswell. This is a 6. It's a patient. It's a 20. It's a 29, and it's another walk to Cepeda. Oh my Lord! Boswell has completely forgotten how to pitch. He walks in another run. 3rd straight walk after 2 straight base hits, and it is now 4-0 Braves, as Gonzalez will trot in home. Aaron to third, Carty to second, Cepeda to first. Push these a little bit out there so I have a little more room for my hands. And still only 1 out here in the top of the 4th. And now a 4-0 lead by the Braves. And the batter is Clete Boyer. Base is still loaded. Fans here in Minnesota getting a little restless, and still 1 out. And I think if Boswell gives up another walk, I'm going to pull him. So let's see what happens here. Here's the pitch to Boyer. That's a 3. That's defense. It's a 65. It's a 65. The defense, it's a range on third base, and that is Killebrew. His range is a B. It's a 65, and that's going to be a ground. And that's going to be a ground out. That's going to be a ground out. So let's find out what kind of hit that was. That's an out, and that's a ground ball double play. No, I'm sorry, ground ball double play. If he's an A, he's not. Killebrew is a B. So they get the fielder's choice is what it is, I believe. And I'll check my readings here, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Runner at double P, A and B. Runner at first, forced out at second base. The fielder's range rating is equal to or better than the letter noted. Batter is out at first, otherwise batter safe. So runner at first, if fielder's range rating is equal to or better than the letter noted, which it is not, batter is out at first, otherwise batter safe. So the runner at first is forced out at second, so that is a fielder's choice since it is lower than the A. So that means Aaron scores, Cardi goes to third, Cepeda is out, Boyer's on at first, and we now have a 5-0 Braves lead. But 2 outs now. So 2 outs, and now the batter is Bob Didier. But it is now 5-0, and I'm not going to credit that to Boswell. They got the out. But there is action warming up in the Minnesota bullpen. Runners at first and third now, 2 outs for Didier. And Didier had a base hit his last time up. So here's the pitch. That's a 5. That's a patient. It's an 83, and that is going to be a ground ball to shortstop. And Cardenas will make the play. He'll throw to second for the force, and the inning is over. So 3 runs come in for Atlanta on 1, 2, 3, on only 2 hits. No errors, but 3 walks. We go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's 5-0 Braves. Timeout. So we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is 5-0 Braves. Much different game than last night. And leading off for the Minnesota Twins will be Cesar Tovar. Ron Reid has pitched to the minimum amount of batters so far and only given up 1 hit. So now the Twins want to try to get some of these runs back. We'll see what happens. Here's the pitch to Tovar. And that is a 7 on Ron Reid. It's an in play. That is a 59, and that's going to be a ground ball to second base. Mian picks it up, throws to first, 1 out. A quick out on Tovar, and that will bring up Rod Carew. Carew is 0 for 1, grounded out his last time up. The pitch from Reid. This is a 6. This is tough. It's a 20, and that's going to be a strikeout. As Carew goes down quickly on 1, 2, 3. Struck him out on 3 straight pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. And now that brings up Harmon Killebrew. Fans here in Minnesota want to see something going on right now. Totally different game from last night. Here's the pitch. That is a 6. That's a tough. That's a 54, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field. And it looks like that Aaron's going to get under it, make the catch. And if you're the Braves, that is exactly what you wanted. Side retired. Four innings in the books. Still 5-0 Braves. And we go to the top of the 5th. It is Gil Garrido who leads off for Atlanta. And Dave Boswell, he's given up 5 runs already. Most of them walks. He's been giving up a lot of patience today. Batters have been good with him today. I'm going to leave him in there for maybe one more inning, see if he can have a good inning here. Now, of course, if this was the year 2019, Boswell would have been yanked. This is the year 1969. Pitchers that gave up these kind of runs, they kept them out there. This is 1969, so I got to play according to pretty much those kind of rules. Or not rules, but strategies at the time. Here's the pitch to Garrido. to start the top of the 5th inning. That is an 11. That is an in play. It's a 35, and that is a pop fly ball. And it looks like it's going to be caught by Cardenas. And he makes the play, 1 out to pop out to short. As Garrido goes down, and that will bring up the pitcher, Ron Reid. The pitch to Reid is an 8. That's a tough. That's a 76. And that is a strikeout. 2 down. Quick 2 outs by Boswell, who definitely needs that. And now Felix Millan. Millan hit a base hit his last time up. He is 1 for 3. And here's the pitch to Millan. That's a 7. That's going to be a tough, a 75. And this one is a fly ball to straightaway center field. Tovar is calling for it. He puts it away. And the inning is over. So a nice 1-2-3 inning by Boswell. And maybe that will give him a little bit of confidence as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Ron Reid will come out to pitch for the Braves. And leading off for the Twins will be Tony Oliva. And he got a base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 1. He's the only one to get a base hit for the Twins off of Reid in this game. Here's the pitch to Oliva. That's an 8. That's a patient. That's a 79. And that is a fly ball to center field to Gonzalez. And that is an out. 1 down. One man out. And that brings up Bobby Allison. Bobby Allison got K'd his last time out. Ron Reid pitching very well so far. His fatigue rating's an 8 as well. Here's the pitch to Allison. That's an 8. That's going to be a patient. That's a 19. And as soon as I say that, Ron Reid walks him. So Allison goes to first on a walk. So Allison there. And now here's Rich Reese. Allison's a steal 4C, but you're down by 5 runs. You're not stealing nothing. You got to let your batters hit. And Rich Reese is a guy that can do it. He batted .322 against the right-handers. Reid sets up for the Braves. He's on the mound. And Reid pitches to Reese. A little bit of a rhyme there in a way. Here's the pitch to Reid from Reid. That's a 9. That's going to be a tough out. That's a 23, and that's a strikeout. And a big strikeout by Reid for the 2nd out. Allison stays at first. We'll now bring up George Mitterwald. Batted .237 against the righties. Setting up. Here's the pitch. This is an 8. This is a patient. It's a 31, and that's going to be a walk for Mitterwald. So they don't get out of the inning so fast, as Allison will go to second. Mitterwald goes to first. And that is a walk. Got a lot of patient batters out there. Ron Reid gave up only 56 walks in 1969, and he's given up 2 today. Allison at second, Mitterwald at first, and now a chance for Leo Cardenas to bring home a run. Batted .288. Leo Cardenas can definitely do it, and he can hit. He's got power. Fans here at Metropolitan Stadium want to see something. They're on their feet. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th, 5-0 Braves. There's the pitch from Reid. That's a 7. That's in play. It's a 70. And that's going to be a ground ball to second base. Millan's got it. He'll throw to first and retire the side, as now it's the Twins not getting runners in like last night. And the inning is done. So no runs. No hits, no errors, 2 walks though. At the end of 5, it is still 5-0 Braves. And we go to the top of the 6th. Dave Boswell will come out to pitch. He had a good inning last time, so that maybe he might have settled down and maybe he could pitch the rest of the way. But so far, it's not all his fault. Minnesota's not hitting. So top of the 6th inning, here's Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez got a base. He is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a ground out. Here's the pitch from Boswell. This is a 7. This is a tough. It's a 9, and that is a clean 99, and that's a fly ball to right field. And that's going to be Oliva putting it away. 1 out. And it brings up that guy. And he actually is, the funny thing about him, he has scored twice, but he's 0 for 1 because he's been walked twice. And Hank Aaron had a pretty good eye. Hank Aaron, I mean, he did draw 68 walks. Hank Aaron had a pretty decent eye in 1969. Remember, it's not always the pitcher, it's sometimes the hitter. That's another thing I love about this game. The pitcher and the hitter are involved in pretty much 95% of every dice throw. Here's the pitch to Aaron. That's a 9. That's in play. That's a 52. And that is a fly ball to right field. And that is also a fly out to right field. 2 down. As again, Aaron still looking really for his first base hit. And that will bring up Clete Boyer. Oh, I'm sorry, not Clete Boyer. My bad. That's Rico Carty. Good thing I write these things down. Rico Carty will bat. And he has a base hit and 2 walks. So he's 1 for 1. Boswell trying to get out of this inning after giving up nothing but walk after walk after walk. Here's the pitch to Carty. This is a patient. It's a 61, and this one is grounded right to second base. Carew has got it and tosses it over to first. And again, Boswell has a nice inning. Side retired, 1, 2, 3. Bottom half of the 6th inning coming up. Braves are up 5-0. This is game 2 of the 1969 runner-up series between the 2 teams that did not make it the World Series, the Atlanta Braves and the Minnesota Twins. And remember, both these teams got swept by their opponents as the Mets took out the Braves 3-0 and the Twins got swept by the Orioles 3-0. And that's why I think this series is actually pretty good. That's why I'm probably going to do one for probably every season so far, possibly. We'll see. That brings up Dave Boswell, the pitcher, and he will, the bottom of the 6th inning, his hitting card is number 6. They're going to let him bat. So Boswell's going to come out and hit. They're going to come out and hit. So here's the pitch from Reid. That is a 6. That's a tough. And we all know what happens when a tough is thrown when one pitcher throws a tough pitch to another pitcher. You guessed it. Strikeout. 1 down. And pretty much means on a 15, no matter what batter I probably put up there, it would have been a strikeout. Here's Cesar Tovar. That's 1 out. Tovar grounded out and popped out. Both to short. Twins trying to break through. They only have 1 hit in this game. Ron Reid pitching beautifully. Here's the pitch to Tovar. That's a 10. That is an in play. That's a 19. And that is going to be a base hit by Cesar Tovar. He gets himself a quick single. Base hit for Tovar. He will hold it first. And the batter is Rod Carew. Steal rating 6B, but you're down by 5 runs. You're not stealing. You're not stealing. Although Didier's arm rating, although Didier's arm rating is a 4. Although Didier's arm rating is a 4, but I still think you're not going to steal. You need to get base runners and let Rod Carew bat. And there's 1 out. So Carew's going to bat. and see what he can do. When you got a batter that bats 351 against right-handed pitching, you got to let him swing the bat. That is an 8. That's a patient. That's a 92. And that is a ground ball to second base. Carew's double play rating is a 5. And Reid's double play rating is an 8. So that's going to be a fielder's choice, as Tovar is going to be thrown out at second, and Carew is going to make it to first. So that's a fielder's choice. So now Carew on it first, and now the batter is Killebrew. Carew, his steal rating's a 4C, not very fast. He will hold there. But now 2 outs in the inning. And now Killebrew a chance to see if he can do something against Reid. Reid has been very tough. Here's the pitch. That's a 7. That's an in play. That's a 70, and that's a fly ball to center field. And that is going to be a catch by Tony Gonzalez, and the side is retired. So no runs, a hit, no errors. 6 in the books. Still 5-0 Braves. As we go to the top of the 7th, Dave Boswell coming out. He will pitch. I'll go ahead and do a little shuffle, although I still don't think it's necessary when you're rolling dice and just using the cards for chart. A little earthquake here. One of the reasons why is because this thing is touching the screen, and it shouldn't be. There we go. Fix the camera a bit. All right, let's go to the 7th inning, shall we? Leading off for the Atlanta Braves will be Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda coming in. Dave Boswell on the mound. He's pitched well the last couple of innings. Here's the pitch from Boswell. This is an 8. This is a tough. It's a 44. And Cepeda's going to fight this one off. This is going to be a base hit for Cepeda. It's a single. Boswell pitching, giving up good, tough hittings. He's pitching tough, but the Braves batters are doing the job. That's a base hit. Cepeda will go to first. And that will bring up Clete Boyer. Steal rating's a 4C, but you're up 5 runs. You're not stealing. Here's the pitch to Boyer. This is a 5. This is a patient. It's a 97. This is going to be a fly ball to left field. Allison's going to get under it. He will make the catch for 1 out. And Cepeda holds it first. And that will bring up Bob Didier. Didier has a base hit and 2 ground outs. He's 1 for 3. Cepeda on it first. He's not running. The pitch from Boswell. This is a 7. This is tough. It's a 90, and that's a ground ball. That is a ground ball to short. Let's see what we got. Didier's double play rating's a 5. Boswell's is a 7. The roll is a 7. The throw is going to go to second base. They will not get Didier, so that is a fielder's choice, as Didier is safe at first. But there are 2 away. On a fielder's choice. That will bring up Gil Garrido. Garrido has a base hit and 2 and a ground out and a pop out. And there goes a die as we reach stretch. Didier on it first. Boswell trying to pitch another good inning, though, but he did give up the hit. Here's the pitch to Garrido. That's a 5. That's a patient. That's a 23, and that is a walk. So Garrido walks, and now there are runners at first and second with 2 outs, and that brings up the pitcher, Reid. And yes, the Braves are going to let him bat. He is pitching a shutout. Boswell will pitch to him. So Didier on at second. Garrido on at first with a walk. And Ron Reid will bat for the Braves. Boswell sets up. Here's the pitch. That's a 3. That's defense. It's a 59 defense. Oh boy, let's see. Defense range. It's range of the shortstop. And that's Cardenas. His range is an A. So that's going to be a ground ball right to him. That's going to be a ground ball. That's definitely a ground ball. Fielder's choice doesn't matter. It was a second out. I really didn't have to flip the card. He'll throw to second and get the force and retire the side. A great play. A great play by Cardenas, who is a range of A, who is an excellent fielder. That's the one thing the Twins have. They are a better fielding team than the Braves are in this series. So ground ball to short, and the side is retired. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 7th inning stretch time. Braves 5, Twins nothing. Stretch them out, people. Hope everybody had a chance there to do a little stretch. Of course, with the one thing about doing a tape delay is that I can actually pause the video anytime I want to take a quick break before I return back to the game. A little bit different than streaming. My next stream, I haven't decided yet what my next stream will be, but my next game that I'll be recording will be in 2 days because I will allow a travel day for Minnesota Atlanta for Game 3 of this series to be held at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. But until then, we still got more baseball. Let's go to the bottom half of inning number 7. It's 5-0 Braves. Tony Oliva will lead it off for the Twins, and Ron Reid still pitching. Ron Reid has still pitched, to believe it or not. To believe it or not, he's pitched beautifully. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. Let's see, 9, 18, 21. He's actually pitched to only 3 batters above the minimum. So he's doing a great job tonight for the Braves. But here's Tony Oliva, who's going to try to see if he can make a few changes. Here's the pitch from Reid. This is a patient. It's a 33. And Tony Oliva gets a hold of this one. That's going to be a base hit into center field. So Oliva starts off the Twins with a man on first. And that's his second hit of the game. He actually was 1 for 2. So a base hit for Oliva. He will hold it first and bring up Allison. Oliva steal rating 4D. Not going anywhere. You're down 5-0. You're not stealing. Bob Allison, though, needs to come through with a big hit somehow. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure about it. With a 152 average against right-handers. Bob Allison, though, is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. He's also a B left fielder. I think, let's see what he can do. Bob Allison coming in there. Oliva on it first. Here's the pitch from Reid. This is a 3. This is defense. It's an 18. And it's hit to the third baseman, which is Boyer. His error rating is a 3. That's an 18, and that is going to be an error on Boyer. Let's see what kind of error it is, and it's a 1-base error. So Allison hits the ball to Clete Boyer. It bounces off his chest, and somehow or other bounced away from him. There was no way to make the play at first base, and the Twins are in business. So in E5, there's an error. That's a big error. And now runners at first and second and nobody out. What a time for that to happen. And that brings up Rich Reese. Reese is 0 for 2, though. Grounded out and struck out. But runners at first and second now. And Reese is a much different hitter than Allison is. So Ron Reid's got to settle in and get the job done for the Braves. A chance for the Twins. Big chance for the Twins. Nobody out here. Bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch. That's a 3. That's another defense, but I think that's going to be okay. 82. That ball was hit to the shortstop, which is Garrido. His error rating is a 3. It's an 82. That's an out. So let's see what kind of out it is. And that's a ground ball plus advance. So we check the information on that. And that is batter out at first. Other runners advance 1 base. So Reese is out. Oliva goes to third. Allison moves to second, but Reese is out. So runners at second and third, but with 1 out now. And the batter is George Mitterwald. So runners at second and third, 1 out. What do you do here if you're Atlanta? You got runners at second and third, 1 out. You're up 5-0. I don't think you put him on base and pitch to Cardenas. I think you pitch to Mitterwald and keep the infield back. And infield in doesn't really matter. The runners really don't matter much. So if you're the Braves, you go right after Mitterwald. And that's exactly what they're going to do. So 1 out now. Runners at second and third. And here's the pitch. This is a 6. This is going to be a tough. It's a 78. And that is a fly ball to center field. That's going to be 2 outs. And Tony Oliva with a run rating of 7. Center fielder's Gonzalez arm rating is an 8. And it is a tough. Let's pull a card and see what kind of a fly ball it was. That was a short fly ball. So outfielder catches a short fly ball. Runners hold. If game was tied or within 1 run, runner on third base may attempt to score with an additional -2 adjustment to his run rating. It is not. So that was not hit well enough, and Oliva has to hold at third. 2 outs. A big fly out. And now, the batter is Leo Cardenas, with runners still at second and third, but now 2 outs. I'll tell you right now, Minnesota not getting the help tonight. Reid pitching a gem, but a chance for Cardenas. He can do it. 288 against the right-handers. Here's the pitch. This is a 7. This is in play. It's a 44, and that is a popped it up. He popped it up. Mian is going to call for it. He will make the catch, and the Braves get out of the jam. Last night, it was totally different. And tonight, it's the Twins not getting the help. Side retired. Seven still in the books. Still 5-0. We're going to go to the top of the 8th. No runs, and there was only 1 hit. Top of the 8th inning, and Dave Boswell is coming out to still pitch. He's reached his fatigue inning, but he has given up 5 runs. Nope, they're going to have to take him out. So Boswell's due to bat. He's due to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. He's due to lead off. So I could do a double switch if necessary. So I think we'll see what we do here. So we're going to see a new pitcher here for the Twins. And we got right, left, right coming up. So they're going to bring in a right-hander. Let's see who they bring in here. They're going to bring in Al Worthington. So coming in to pitch for the Twins will be Al Worthington. Fatigue is short. 4 wins, 1 loss, a 4.57 ERA. So Al Worthington will now pitch for the Twins, probably the 8th and maybe the 9th, depending on what happens tonight in this inning. We are, however, at the top of the order for the Braves, and it's Felix Millan. Millan flew out twice, grounded out, and singled. Here's the pitch to Felix Millan. This is a 7. This is in play. It's an 80, and that's a ground ball to shortstop. Cardenas has got it. He throws to first. 1 out. And now we'll bring up Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez having a good night. Grounded out, flew out, but 2 base hits and scored once. Gonzalez at the plate. Worthington trying to see if he can keep the Twins in it, but they're down 5-0. Here's the pitch. This is a 3. It's in the wheelhouse. 29, and that's going to be in play. So here's the try by Gonzalez. And that is a 37, and that is going to be a popped it up right to short. Cardenas will make the catch. 2 outs. Popped it up. And it brings up that guy. Hank Aaron still looking, really, for his first base hit of the whole series. He's been quiet. He has scored twice tonight, both on walks. So here's the pitch to Aaron. That's a 6. That's a tough. That's a 34. Worthington's a right-hander. That's a 34. And Aaron finally gets his base hit. That's a single. The hammer finally hits the nail. And he's going to go at first with a base hit. That's his first hit of the series. He'll hold it first and bring up Rico Carty. Remember, I'll tell you, when you get a tough penalty, when it kind of tough on a pitcher, make sure you read those. Make sure you read them. Just because a tough comes up, it's not always a strikeout. So here's Rico Carty. He's walked twice, singled and grounded out. Hank Aaron on it first. Here's the pitch from Worthington. That's a 7. That's going to be in play. That's a 29, and Carty's going to get himself a base hit as well. That's a single. Line drive into center field. The runner on first advances 1 base. Aaron's got a run rating of 7, which means he's going to go to third with 2 outs, and we got runners at first and third now. And the fans here at the Metropolitan Stadium are beginning to lose a little hope here. But runners at first and third, 2 outs as Carty gets himself a base hit. And the batter is Orlando Cepeda. The Braves trying to put a hurt on the Twins after last night, trying to even the series at 1. Aaron on at third, Carty at first, Cepeda, the pitch from Worthington. That's a 9, that's a tough, that's a 6, and that is a strikeout. And Worthington gets out of the jam. And the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. But Hank Aaron finally gets a base hit in this series. To some of the delight of some of the Braves fans that are here. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Al Worthington pretty much did his job. We're going to see a pinch hitter for the Twins, as that will be it for Worthington. Reid pitching a gem. So let's see what they're going to bring in. And coming into bat for the Twins will be Ted Eulander. And I hope I said his name right. Ted Eulander will come in and bat for the Twins. Against the right-handers, he batted .302 with 7 home runs. So here's Ted Eulander. And of course, and if anyone's watching this, correct me. I think it's like, well, I mean, it's Ulander or Ulander. I'm not sure. But he will bat for the Twins here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Still 5-0 Braves. The Twins definitely got to get something going in this going here. Here's the pitch from Reid. This is an 8. It's a patient. It's a 51. And Ulander's going to miss this one. It's a fly ball to left field. And it will be Carty to make the catch. 1 out. So Ulander is out of there for the first out, and we go to the top of the batting order with Cesar Tovar. Tovar got a base hit, grounded out, and popped out. Reid the pitch. This is a 7. This is in play. It's an 88, and that's a ground ball to short. It's going to be Garrido who'll get it. Throws to first. 2 outs. And now a chance for Rod Carew. Reid sets up on the mound. Rod Carew looking for a hit. He's grounded out, struck out, and got on and reached base on a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch to Carew. This is a 6. It's a tough. It's a 24, and that is a strikeout. And the side is retired, as tonight the Twins are not doing it today. Nothing across at the end of 8. It's still Braves 5, Twins nothing. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Twins got to bring in a new pitcher. And you got Wright switch right. Gotta be careful here. And I think they're going to bring in Dean Chance. Dean Chance will come in and pitch this top of the 9th inning. Dean Chance will pitch for Minnesota. 5 wins, 4 losses, 2.95 ERA. He's allowed 6 homers, 50 strikeouts, 35 walks, and 69. He started 15 games. He's going to come in here and pitch 1 inning. Although the Twins are hoping maybe for a little more than that. But we go to the top of the 9th inning, and it is Clete Boyer leading off for Atlanta. Here's the pitch from Chance. This is a 5. It's a patient. It's a 95. That's a fly ball to left field. And it will be Allison making the play for 1 out. And we'll see Bob Didier. Didier grounded out 3 times to shortstop, but he has a base hit, so he's 1 for 4. Amazing. Most of these runs scored by the Braves are on walks. 3 straight walks pretty much brought in 3 straight runs. If it wasn't for the walks, it would be 2-0 instead. But here's Dean Chance for the Twins trying to keep it a 5-0 game to give Minnesota a chance in the bottom of the 9th. Here's the pitch to Didier. This is a 4. This is an in play. And that is an 0-4. And that's going to be a base hit by Bob Didier. And that's going to go all the way to the wall. Didier is going to have himself a clean double. He gets a double. They'll hold it second. And we'll bring up Gil Garrido. So Dean Chance trying to keep this a 5-0 game. You don't want to give the Braves any more runs here in the top of the 9th. But Didier on at second. And Garrido coming up. And Garrido had a base hit, grounded out, popped out, and walked. So let's see what Garrido does here for the Braves. Here's the pitch. This is a 3. This is ballpark. 33. That's going to be in play. So we re-roll on Gil Garrido's in play. That is a 21. And that's going to be a base hit by Gil Garrido. That's a sharp liner into center field. Runner on second advances 1 base. Didier's a 6 with a plus. So Didier's on at third. Garrido goes to first. Let's see what they do here. And that was a runner on second advances 1 base plus. Any result followed by a plus indicates runner advanced on a base to stayed and lead runner has the option of attempting an extra base. When actively managing the batter team, decide if the runner will attempt to advance or not. When not managing the batting team, decide if the runner will attempt to advance or not. If the runner's run rating is higher than the single D6 result, the runner will attempt to advance when the score is within plus or minus 3 runs. Follow the instruction on the runner's advance charts. Let's see. I don't think he's going to run. I think he'll hold on a 6. I think he'll hold. Let's have a look here. And I think he's going to hold. He's going to hold at third. He's going to hold at third. It's still 1 out. So Garrido stays at first. Still 1 out. Runners at first and third. You're going to hold, not going to test it. And the batter is the pitcher, Reid. With a 5-0 lead, you let the pitcher bat. You could try a squeeze. You could try a squeeze play here. His batting rating's a B, but Didier with a run rating of 6. I think you can let him hit. So runners at first and third, 1 out. Reid is going to come up there and try to see if he can get a big run in. Dean Chance trying to get it out. Fans here in Metropolitan Stadium know this is a very important inning right now. Runners at first and third, 1 out. Here's the pitch. This is a 7. It's in play. It's a 20. It's a 26. It's a 26, and that is going to be a popped it up behind the plate. Oh, wow. Popped it up behind the plate. Mitterwald is going to make the catch. 2 outs. Oh, the one thing he probably could not have done was pop it up behind the plate, and the runners have to hold. 2 outs now for Felix Millan, but still runners at first and third. So Chance gets a big chance. Runners at first and third. Top of the 9th. 5-0 Braves. 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Millan. That's a 12. That's in the wheelhouse. 70. And that is going to be a fly ball deep to center field. Going back for it is Tovar. Going back, and he makes the catch. The warning track side retired. I know you guys probably hate it when I do it that way, but yep, that's it. The inning is over. And Chance gets out of it, gets out of the jam. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. Bottom of the 9th inning coming up. Still 5-0 Braves. The Twins know they got to do this now. Well, we're gonna have a tied series going back to Atlanta. Reid's going to try to pitch a complete game, and why not? He's pitched a shutout. But leading off for the Twins will be Harmon Killebrew. But he's been quiet today. 2 flyouts and a ground out. No home runs in this game. I don't know. Did I just say something that maybe... Well, let's find out. Reid is on the mound. Bottom of the 9th. Here's the pitch to Killebrew. That is an 8. That's a patient. That's an 0-8. And Killebrew is going to draw a leadoff walk. Well, if anything, you got to start somewhere. And a walk is not a bad way to start. So Killebrew goes to first. And that will bring up Tony Oliva. Oliva has 2 base hits today. He's 2 for 3. 2 base hits and a flyout. Killebrew on at first. Reid trying to close the game out. Atlanta does have the bullpen working just in case it turns into a save situation. Here's the pitch to Oliva. It's a 6. It's a tough. It's a 40. It's a 46. And Oliva is going to fight this one off. This is going to be a base hit. It's an opposite field liner into left field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Killebrew holds at third. And the Twins are in business again. Nobody out. Nobody out. Runners at first and third. As we said, the Braves do have the bullpen warming up. Cecil Upshaw is their closer. He had 27 saves in 1969. But the thing about Reid, he hasn't reached his fatigue yet. So he can still go. But runners at first and third. The batter is Bobby Allison. And Bobby Allison got on base on an E5 and a walk. But with an average of 152, we're going to see a pinch hitter for Allison. Allison's left field, so we're going to see a pinch hitter for him. And you gotta find a pinch hitter here. So definitely got to see what you're going to do here. And coming on to pinch hit for the Twins will be Johnny Roseboro. Allison was my left fielder, and I do have somebody that can take that position if necessary. So here comes Johnny Roseboro. He will pinch hit. He bats .285 against the righties. Nobody out. Killebrew on third. Oliva at first. Roseboro at the plate. Ron Reid trying to close it. Bottom of the 9th inning. 5-0. Here's the pitch from Reid. That's a 7. That's an in play. That's an 0-7. And that's going to be a base hit for Johnny Roseboro. The Twins are on the board. It's a sharp liner into center field. Runner on first advances 1 base. Killebrew will score, and it is now 5-1. As Roseboro comes into the pinch hit off a Reid. Now 5-1 Twins. And the batter is Rich Reese. 5-1. What do you do now? Do you go ahead and bring in the closer? It's now a save situation because the tying run's on deck. So yes, you do. So that's going to be it for Reid. He goes pretty much 8 innings, cannot get it done. Almost. So coming on to pitch now for the Atlanta Braves will be Cecil Upshaw. He's the closer. 6 wins, 4 losses, 2.91 ERA, 27 saves in 69. Now 5-1, the tying run on deck. And Rich Reese, the batter. Upshaw is a right-hander. Reese was a lefty. He bats .322 against lefties or righties, so it didn't matter what pitcher I brought in. Oliva on at second. Roseboro at first. This game is not over yet. Here's the pitch to Reese from Upshaw. It's a 10. It's an in play. It's a 42, and that's going to be a ground ball right back to Upshaw. That's a G1. It's a 10. So it's a G1, it's a 10. That's hit right back to him. So Upshaw's double play rating is a 9. Reese's double play rating is a 5. It's a 10. So it's going to be a fielder's choice. So he turns around. He will get Roseboro out at second. And there is 1 out. They do not get the double play. Oliva goes to third. So Roseboro is out. Reese is on it first. But now there's one out on a grounder right back to the pitcher. And the batter now is George Mitterwald. Mitterwald bats .237 against the right-handers. And I think they're going to let him. And Mitterwald, however, has walked, flew out, and grounded out. Runners at first and third, now one out. Mitterwald's your catcher. So if you go ahead and you take him out, you go ahead and take him out. You could use Roseboro, but the question is, who do you want to bring in the back against Upshaw? Let's see what they got here. You got Rick Rennick. Let him bat. Not let him bat. One out. George Mitterwald's going to bat. Oliva on at third. Rich Reese is at first. One out. Bottom of the ninth inning. Now 5-1. Cecil Upshaw trying to close the game. Here's the pitch to Mitterwald. It's an 8. It's a patient. It's a 97. And that's a fly ball to left field. And that's going to be caught by Carty. That's the second out. Tony Oliva's run rating's a 7. And that was on a patient. So, runner on third base may attempt to score using a coach's choice chart. So let's see what we do. Tony Oliva's run rating's a 7. Roll 2d6 and compare total lead runner's run, field, arm rating. So on the coach's choice chart, they're going to set, the play is made by Carty. His arm rating's a 10. They're going to send Oliva. They're going to send him. So it's a roll. Anything under a 7, he's safe. Anything above a 10, he's out. Anything between 10 and 7, it could be a play at the plate. It's a 7. Oliva scores, and it is now 5-2. Maybe a little bit dangerous, but you got to get some runs in. And Reese, of course, held at first base, but there are now 2 outs. So now it's a 5-2 game, but 2 outs now for Leo Cardenas. Rich Reese on it first. Cecil Upshaw trying to close the game out. Fans in Minnesota hoping and praying for something big here. For 2 outs now. Bottom of the ninth. 5-2. Here's the pitch to Cardenas. It's a 9. It's an in play. It's a 31. And that's going to be a base hit by Cardenas. That is a single. It's ball blooped into right field. The runner on first advances 1 base plus. Reese would have a run rating of an 8. And that was blooped into right field. Aaron's arm rating is a 9. Reese is going to hold at second because him getting to third, right now you bring the tying run to the plate. If you get thrown out at third, that's a mistake. So Cardenas gets a single. And it moves Reese to second. And he will hold. And that brings up the pitcher, Dean Chance. And, of course, we'll see a pinch hitter. So runners at first and second. And coming on to bat, for the Twins will be Rick Rennick. Rick Rennick batted .262 against the right-handers with 1 home run. Because that's it for Chance. And I'll turn him over so I know I got to replace him. So here's Rick Rennick. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning. Rennick batted .262. He has 1 home run against right-handed hitting. Reese on at second. Cardenas on at first. 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th. Upshaw trying to get it done. And a timeout is called. Had to check the rules there on the fatigue. Cecil Upshaw's fatigue rating is long. He's allowed 2 runs. He can allow 3. So he's not fatigued yet. So let's try. So we reset. Try again. Second. Cardenas first. Rennick at the plate. 5-2. Here's the pitch from Upshaw. It's a 10. It's an in play. It's a 30. And this one's going to be a base hit by Rick Rennick. It's a single. Line drive into center field. Runner on second scores. Cardenas advances a base. As Rennick comes through with a pinch hit base hit. Cardenas goes to second. Run rating a 7. And he will hold. He will not test anything. And the score is now 5-3 with 2 outs. And now Cecil Upshaw is fatigued. And they're going to call a timeout, and they're probably going to bring in a new pitcher. And the batter is Cesar Tovar. So 3 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Braves 5, Twins 3. They can't get the final outs. That's it for Cecil Upshaw. Cesar Tovar is going to bat as he is done. And coming on to pitch for the Braves will be Hoyt Wilhelm. And with this card, it should be enough. Hoyt Wilhelm, 2 wins, no losses, 0.73 ERA, 4 saves. Hoyt Wilhelm will come in for Atlanta to try to get this done. Braves 5, Twins 3, bottom of the 9th. Tying run at first, winning run at the plate. Fans here on their feet, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Wilhelm sizes it up. Here's the pitch to Tovar. It's a 10. It's a patient. It's an 85, and that is a ground ball to shortstop. Garrido's got it. He will throw to second to get the force, and the ball game comes to an end. Wow. On a patient. And Hoyt Wilhelm comes in to get 1 batter, and that's all he had to do. And this game is in the books as the Braves somehow make it a squeaker and get out of it with a 5-3 win here at Metropolitan Stadium. Wow, that was the most exciting inning of the that was the one of the more exciting innings of the game. 3 runs, 3 hits. There were no errors. And the final score is Braves 5, Twins 3. We got a tie series going back to Atlanta. I'll be right back with the recap in just a moment. So after going ahead and checking everything, let's take a look at the final line score. It is Atlanta, 5 runs, 12 hits and an error. Minnesota, 3 runs, 6 hits and no errors. It will be Reid who gets the win, Boswell the loss. Upshaw gets a hold, but it is Hoyt Wilhelm who comes in and pitches to 1 batter and gets the save. So that is all here from Metropolitan Stadium. This series is tied 1-1. There will be no tape delay. There will be no broadcast tomorrow, as I'll take a day off. The next game will be on Friday from Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. That will be a tape delay as well. So we'll see you then on Friday for Game 3 of the 1969 Runner-Up World Series. Once again, final score here. Atlanta Braves 5, Minnesota Twins 3. Series tied 1 game apiece. I'll see you Friday, everybody. Have a good night.